Hey guys and gals, this is Obleo. So I've had to redo some of my modules that I made in the spring of 2025 because I improperly stored them during the summer. So I've had to redo 7 modules. Out of the 7, I've done 5. The rest I still have to do, but they will get done shortly. I've also done the ones that need the insulation foam added to them because of water or valley scenes below track grades. So we worked on that in the past month. We've also worked on making that hobby room more into a model railroad layout room. So also been transforming that over the last month. And I've also picked up some other model railroad things and also did some of the model railroad scenery for the 3D printed items as well. So I hope you do like some of the stuff I'm working on, and I hope you enjoy the video that I'm about to show you. Hey guys, so that there is the little hobby desk that I wanted to put there, and the shelving next to it. So I have a number of my model railroad stuff over there. I can use it to paint. We're going to be painting one of our little things here. You can see I have a whole slew of acrylic paints in here. Yeah, it's a nice little area to work. I have 2 cutting mats here and a number of things to work on. So we're working on that, but I'm gonna alter it a bit from where it's at. I'm gonna swap the loading dock on the opposite side, and I don't have a lot of depth on it, so I'm gonna have to cut them down. But it'll be a lot of fun. You can see I have some other models out here. I have some of our old models over here, like our old gas station and stuff, and some of the newer ones, and ones that still need to be put together. I still have to paint the doors here. I had to take some time off to do some other things around the house, and then come back out to do the doors. I think it may be green doors. Here is the replacement for the other standard corner. I had some warpage, and so this is the replacement pieces. To do these 2 doubles yet, these are the ones that had warp pieces. We got to cut some side pieces for those. This stuff here is the hardboard. This is just a remnant piece that I had to make sure it would work. It's a 1/8 inch thick, and you can see that this is 12 inches. So we'll put it behind. I have this in big sheets where I can do all the sizes. The hardboard is really inexpensive. It's like $12 for a 4x8 sheet of it. So really inexpensive. It's pretty sturdy, and I'm gonna gesso all mine so we can paint it with acrylics. So this stuff was $8 on sale. Normally goes for $18, so we saved $10 on it. This should be more than enough gesso. What we're gonna do is make gesso board. You can buy gesso board, by the way, but it's expensive. One of the doubles, so I put some glue, spread it all the way out. We're going to put our piece of plywood on top, and then we're going to throw a couple brad nails in. Probably 2 brads here, 2 brads there, and maybe 4 across each of the front side. And that's just going to help keep it together while it glue dries. So I got the glue in. You can see that some's coming out, so it's always good to have a rag to get the glue out. What I do is go all the way around with this, so I know where to put my brads. Okay, so you can see I got all the OSB, it's on there, but there's extra glue here, so I'm just going to go and wipe that glue up. That's seeping out of the sides. Oh, that sounds like a train. There's a little bit more there. Yep, that's our local... So I'm using both OSB and plywood. Now, believe it or not, the OSB is a lot cheaper. You can get a 4x8 sheet of this OSB material for about $10 or $11, a full 4x8 sheet, where the plywood, 1/4 inch plywood, is $22 to $24. So you can save money by getting this. So this is how I do the these things here. So I clamp this to my workspace. I drill the hole in just past that thing, and then I go over to my miter saw, make a straight cut, cut it off, and then put the T-nut in. And I was able to come out here and do about 25 of these. For the paper mill, I put an extra support in here because we're not going to have water And it looks pretty, it's pretty sturdy. And so I got in the T-nuts and T-bolts. I have 2 on the center posts here. So I have 1 there and 1 there. OSB cutting for the triple wide module. Just trimmed it so we could fit it perfectly on our triple. So this is going to go on our paper mill module. Cut out a hole here so we can have a hole between the piece here so that we can run our electrical from one side to the other. The paper mill module, believe it or not, this module here will have our warehouse to the paper mill. We'll have our pulpwood production drop off, and we'll have our chemical take area. We'll also have a train depot, a few commercial businesses, and then we'll have another industrial business right about the plywood for both of these. This is the standard corner, and that's the end cap. Both of these will have water scenes in it. This one here will have a small little stream waterfall. I have to figure out where the track goes on this so I can figure out where to put the foam. But I haven't put the foam in that one yet, so I got to determine where that's going to go with. Okay, I tacked in our foams. These ones will just hold up the big foam sheets. I'm going to go back over. You can see I already started. I'm going to put some hot glue around the edges up here so this glues to the wood. Okay, I had the hot glue out so I could put in the areas for the valley on this side, water here. I thought this would be enough room for some electrical that has to come up, but roughly our bridge will be about this height. So if you can see at it, it's slightly about 1/8 of an inch under. I did draw out a pattern. I drew out the areas where the track is going to be. Then drew where I want to put the different structures. Now this area is going to be like cut away. This will be down in the pink foam. So I made some pilot holes here and there. So we go along with the jigsaw that we can just go to those areas and pop them out a little bit easier. So here you can see that's where our track is going to be, coming all the way around. Cut out the valley, cut out this little piece here. It's just going to be a little see-through area. This is going to be off to the water. There's the end cap. So this is going to be for the water. It goes all the way through. This is a little valley. So this is one of the ones I'm cutting out. You can see the piece is smaller. So what I did is I took some scrap pieces of wood here to hold it up between the sawhorses. This is going to be part of a small stream, but it's going to also have a waterfall that goes slightly underneath the track. And they'll come back out over here. We'll actually have like a little island, but this whole piece is just going to be chopped off. I drilled a few pilots in that guy as well. We really don't need this piece here. That just shows us where, like, that we're going to have like this little island. We can cut all that out with foam. We don't need that. There you go. We got that cut out. So that'll go in the corner. It's got gluing in the foam for the corner module. So I just did the bottom half. So now I'm going to throw a little extra bead along the edge just to make sure it's staying in there. So, yep, just using a low temp hot glue. Works great. Okay, guys, you can see here we got our foam in there. Now, you can see that there's enough room in there for a little tunnel-like portal. Hey, look at that. We got another one done. We got the foam in there. Got this. Now, this is going to be an island over here somewhere. We did cut out the area of the island. We will come back over and cut out where the waterway is and do a little jigsaw cut along these as well, but we don't know where those are at yet. So this one here, we're going to be putting rocks in there. This is like one of the plaster castings I have, but this is not going to be for this particular area down here. As you can see, it's pretty deep. So I have over 8 rock molds, and I'm going to make a bunch of plaster castings this week so that we can put them in here for our terraforming, so we can kind of figure out. So what I have to figure out, like, is obviously this isn't the rock for this because it's going the wrong direction. I have to figure out where the rocks go, and then we can determine where we can cut out this for the water scene here. And then we're also going to have that island here. So when we figure out, like, you know, how we're going to place the different you know, the rocks and different things here, then we can determine where we need to trim these out with the jigsawed out part of this piece of wood, because we're gonna have a water scene here, and that's where the water area is going to be. So here on this jigsaw, when you want to do boards like that, you see this, it does an orbital motion. You want to put that at number 3. When you are doing plywood like this, you want to put that at 0. because it'll chip out this wood. But if you keep that at 0 for this, it'll start burning the wood. It's very, very bad. Hey, so when you do T-Trak DIY, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So I put this brace right where the track starts, so I could add, I'm gonna add foam to the front of this so I can slope down to give a different look, a different feel. Plus we have our log pond going this way under the track as well. So yeah, you can do anything you want when you do it DIY, you know, as long as you abide by the rules of where the track goes. As long as you abide by the standards, you can do whatever you want inside of it. But you know, if you buy a kit, you have to do what the kit has for you. So yeah, believe it or not, it's a lot more fun like this. Hey guys and gals, so check it out. These are the tables. I have stuff all over them right now. You might have seen this one earlier in the video where I was actually building in the shop. This one actually is going to go over here. This is where the tables are. We're going to add another table right here. So you can see we have a shelf area over there. So we have enough room to go all the way around the layout. It's working out really nice. Here are some of the terrains that we're going to be using. We are doing late summer and fall. So we do have these. I picked up these. I didn't have these colors because I didn't do fall before. You can see we have a yellow and we have this orangish color. Late fall, which have two different shades of orange-ish red, but they look almost the same shade. We also have snow because if you live in the upper Midwest, what happens at the end of fall? It snows. I mean, right now it is officially fall and we've already had dustings of snow. So we're going to have some snow also on some modules. I actually have a lot of former stuff here. I have a lot of scenery and even like glues and other paints from my previous layout. Let's see if I can just even bring that up here so we can take a look. This is all stuff I had from past layouts of model scenery, and this is just the ground foam stuff. You know, I still have a lot of trees and tree armatures in other bins, but you can see I got, you know, all sorts of stuff in here. I used to buy these little bags because I could get them for $2. You know, like here's coarse turf, light green. Let's see what all the different stuff we have in here. We have some bushes. I think we got this part of a tree armature kit because it's in a generic bag. We have a whole slew of that. You can see that we have fine turf, burnt grass, more than enough for probably this entire layout. We have some of that flowering foliage stuff. My God, I mean, that's that earth stuff. You can see how much we have left over, and it's a lot. And this is from previous layouts, you know. Oh, look at that. I got more tree armatures in here. I didn't even know I had those here. Some talus. Bushes. You can just see that it's endless. We got tons and tons of stuff. Underbrush. More fine turf. You know, different types of plant material that we use that are just in bags. It looks like soil or something. We have sand. We have some of those sort of like tall grass things. Looks like, oh, look at this. We even have some flexi rock. Yeah, we have all sorts of different coarse turfs. You see that we have tons of stuff. We even have our ballast. Believe it or not, I bought this ballast such a long time ago. This has got to be like over 20 years old, this fine ballast. And you can see that I've hardly used any of it. And I've used this on 2 different layouts now. This will be the 3rd layout that gets that ballast treatment.